kitchen again, and we're gonna make a ketogenic breakfast tea. And you can see I got a lot of stuff on my counter, but everything I have on my counter here is to be able to make like 20 different types of teas. I'm gonna show you today a ketogenic tea. And ketogenic, if you don't know what that means, it means that you're gonna have a meal, okay, or you're gonna have a lifestyle where you're gonna try to keep your body in some form of ketone production, okay? And ketones are, when you find out about them, they are the type of fuel that resurrects your body and your mind, ketones, okay? So how do you get ketones? Well, we've got 4 participants here right now, more actually, okay? Everybody's here that's done fasting, okay? Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people, okay? Mark, how many days did you do fasting now?
12 days.
Okay, so Mark did 12 days of fasting, okay? How many pounds did you lose?
15.
Okay, and you're not here to lose pounds, but he lost 15 pounds of toxicity. He wasn't fat when he came, okay? Fat, as they call it, because it's extra garbage. That's what people call it, okay? I call it toxicity, okay? So 12 days of fasting, okay? These guys need to learn how to be able to actually refeed themselves in a correct manner, because everybody that we're gonna just go through here real quick, everybody here is reconnected themselves to a deeper part of themselves, and now you have to train yourself, okay, the new fuels that you want to put in your body. And it's going to take you about 3 minutes to keep yourself on more of a ketogenic diet from a sugary diet. It does take a little time for your body to get used to breaking down oils, okay? And oils is, as you know, okay, just real quick, are 9 calories per gram, and 9 calories per gram is like the premium fuel beyond ketones, okay? So ketones is the best. And then the next is fat, 9 calories per gram. Alcohol is 7 calories per gram, and we have a lot of good recipes. Remember, not to drink socially, but we use them as therapies. 7 calories per gram is alcohol. So it's got a lot of power, alcohol. You can run cars on it, you can clean your house with it, you can do a lot of stuff, and clean your body too. You can clean your skin with it. The next is proteins, 4 calories per gram. Not too powerful, remember? Fats, double that, it's 9 calories per gram. Alcohol is even more powerful than protein. Sugar, 4 calories per gram, okay? Carbohydrates, same thing, 4 calories per gram. So there's simple foods, and you guys just got off of simple foods, okay? Slavka, how many days you do?
10 days.
10 days, okay? Anybody that does over 7 days has just disconnected your parasites in a super huge way. And how much weight did you lose?
Like 12 pounds.
12 pounds. And again, we're not talking body fat, I'm talking toxicity. Because I look at these people now and all I see is older people become 10 years younger, not even physically, but their energy, their eyes open up, their heart starts to go ahead and actually get out of its cage. Remember, the rib cage is blocked by the heart. Okay, so when you break down a lot of the tissues inside your system starts to go ahead and actually flow in different directions, and that's why you need to now push yourself in the direction that you need to in a ketogenic more diet. Okay, so you did 12 days, 10 days. Neil, what'd you get?
15 days.
15, champion. Okay. Trevor, you did 14.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did 10.
Jenny. 10 days. Okay. So anybody that can do 7 days again, and how many days you do?
15.
Oh, 15. Okay. Again, 15 days. Were you hungry? Did you die? No. 15 days, no food. You had dry distilled water. Okay. Of course, what happened? You survived. Okay? So right now, everybody's disconnected to a certain amount, and refeeding is important, refeeding. So we're gonna share with people, like I do on all my videos, okay? It's a ketogenic more diet. You're trying to intermittent fast every day, and the most important thing for you to start your day with is a breakfast tea. And I've done lots of breakfast teas. This is my tea I'm gonna show you how to make today, and it's so simple. Like I said, you don't need to use all this stuff, but we're gonna go ahead and add some things to the tea, because yerba mate tea by itself, as you can see, okay? We have a yerba mate tea, and you have to go ahead and just be careful. I'm gonna explain this real quick. Yerba mate also comes smoked yerba mate. You do not want smoked yerba mate. You do not want the yerba mate in plastic bags, or excuse me, in paper bags, and a lot of them are sold like this. And they're not in bags like you think. They're in petroleum-based bags. Remember, this is an acid tea, and it's going in there and it's perverting, even if it's organic in a brown bag. Okay, and a lot of them I see are like this. So this is a food grade bag, very smart, and you never throw the bags out. This is unsmoked yerba mate, organic. Remember, They spray coffee and tea. I'm in this business here, and you wouldn't believe how many pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, and fungicides they put on this stuff because farmers just want to keep their crop. They don't want bugs, okay? So yerba mate tea, why would you use this versus any other tea? Is because this is a cleansing tea, okay? This is going to help you so you could go ahead and actually keep on moving debris through your stomach, okay? And the way I'm going to show you how to make this real quick here is the best way I've found out how to make these teas, okay? So you could use this by yourself if you want, just have yerba mate tea. But I'm going to show you, this is a meal, okay? This is just, you know, tea's drinking, it's nice and warm and everything, and it's got a little caffeine and it gets you going, okay? But, okay, if you're training yourself, here's my tea. I made this at about 5 o'clock this morning. I still have half left. I'm going to show you what I have in here, okay, as I go through this, okay? This tea, I drank this morning, and I have liquids in between, okay? And as I get hungry, this is full of psyllium powder. This is full of chia seeds. This has a huge amount of coconut oil. This has all different minerals in it, psyllium powder, and it tastes good. Why? Because I have stevia in here, organic stevia, that makes it taste like Dairy Queen. I put this in a blender, as I'm going to show you, and I use my magnetic blender, okay? If you don't know how to make one of these, just look up Dr. Robert Cassar magnetic blender, and it does work. It does. What it does is it super blends everything, and it makes everything so it doesn't separate. Remember, that's got a huge amount of oil in there and water, okay? Separated, it will a little bit, but it doesn't. It breaks it all down. So oils, okay, we'll go over. You only need a blender. You need a jar to make your tea. You never put it in plastic, and let's say you're going to Starbucks. Well, unless it's organic. Again, do you know what's in this coffee? You don't. If you did, you wouldn't have it, okay? Coffee's good for you. So is organic tobacco. So is organic medical cannabis, okay? So is certain types of foods and stuff. But if it's not packaged right, if it's not done right, then they're all what we call perversions. Glass and a top that's bisphenol A free. You can get these at Ace Hardware, Walmart, or Target, okay? There are 10 of them for like $4. The metal ones on top are super toxic. Don't use them. Just throw them out, okay? So, equipment, blender. And when you do, remember, these are polycarbonate blenders. It's best to use, if you can, a glass blender. Why? Because you're going to put super hot stuff in here just for a few minutes, not 30 seconds, and blend it. But in the beginning, if you do have one of these Vitamixes and it's not bisphenol A free, so how do you get the bisphenol A free out of it? How do you get the bisphenol A? You heat up water as hot as you can get it and turn it on and let it run. And let the heat suck out a lot of the plastic that's exterior. Let it do it a couple of times. Boil the water in there, and that usually will go ahead and make it so it stops leaching in the beginning. You never, ever store anything in this thing. I see a lot of people make stuff and they throw it in the guys, you don't know what this thing is. Put it in glass. So here we go. So let's go ahead and go through. This is my tea. This is what I have every day. And this is the most important thing in the morning for you to be able to start your day out with, okay? Again, you need nesting material for your bacteria in your stomach to be able to grow. Remember, you just clean clock in your house, okay? Remember, you dry fasted, okay? You did how many days? 10 days, right? Okay. And usually it's the women that do more, and the guys, they sort of slack back, wasn't it, when you did it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's women usually go ahead and go longer fast. And the more in shape a lot of people are, the harder it is to do too, because there's not as much to dry out. Okay, so fasting, remember, is what you did, but it's called block fasting. You went in a certain amount of time, and what you did was you disconnected everything that feeds. And if you feed yourself in the incorrect way right now, most likely you may be worse than what you were before. Okay, because as you ate the other day, remember the first time you said you were pretty hungry. Everything tasted so bloody good, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, and you sort of felt after you did, you felt like you ate too much a little bit.
No,
didn't you
not
feel?
me.
Didn't you feel the next day? Somebody said they ate too much, or
Not me.
Neil.
All right.
Yeah, I experienced that.
Yeah. And this is what it is. Guys, remember, you just went ahead and fasted all these days. So if you can, every day, at least try to intermittent fast. Let's say you have your dinner at 6 o'clock at night. Okay? You wait, 12 hours, until you have your breakfast tea. So you have breakfast tea in the morning, and we're going to show you all the stuff that's in it. Number 2, and this is just a little mini lecture so you can find out why you're going to do this. This is the most beneficial thing that you can do. And remember, it's not tea. This is food. Okay, so if you can, and you've already done this, remember, I would try to to a liquid fast if you can for the next 6 weeks to 8 weeks until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you can have a lot of, liquid means you can have smoothies. Liquid means you can have a lot of stuff, okay? A lot. So you're just trying to retrain your intestinal tract to get healthy, okay? This is the biggest thing. You need to retrain the intestinal tract to get healthy. This is why we're gonna put fiber. This drink, remember, is not only starting out your day, it's got the right caffeine, it's got the stuff. It doesn't have hardly any sugar at all, okay? But it has the nesting materials. So let's just go over reason being. You just cleaned your intestinal tract. The intestinal tract now has a lot of the bullies, the pathogens out of it, okay? And now you gotta make your ferments, and you constantly, when you're hungry throughout the day, have a sip of your ferments. I have 20 ferments on my counter. We have lots of videos on that. The ferments never go bad, okay? And the ferments, when you drink them, they just keep putting a new set of military in your intestinal tract. Where do the ferments live? Where do the bacteria live? They need to live in fiber. Okay, this is why you have fiber. So the fiber, which the fiber that we're going to use, and I'll go over this, is real simple, is psyllium husk and chia seeds. This is the fiber, maca. The bacteria live in this stuff. Okay, and so when you go to the bathroom and you're healthy, 30% of your feces, okay, is bacteria. Okay, and then if you're not healthy, 30% of your feces is what? Parasite eggs. And this is true. Okay, so when you're healthy, basically, you still go to the bathroom and you go, geez, I only ate that, but how come I have more feces than what I put in? Because your bacteria are healthy. Okay, so what do they need though? Constant nesting material, so they constantly replicate and divide on the foods that you train them to eat. And this is very important. Remember, you guys disconnected from your parasites. Okay, we've done lots of videos on this. You're at a point in time right now where you've resurrected yourself from these little creatures I call demonic vampires, which are parasites. You've disconnected them, okay? And now for the next 6 weeks, if you can, is all you do is you train yourself, even if you don't like a lot of this stuff, you know that everything you're gonna take is good. Everything here, you can buy whatever you want, guys, but all this stuff is at Earth Shift, it's all wholesale. You need the correct packaging. Okay, a lot of the stuff we get is we make ourselves, okay? And we put together these different blends. This is, again, this is a smoothie mix, okay? This is called the Ultimate Green Protein. It's got 5 different types of greens in here. There's no sugar in here, it just has stevia, hemp, okay? And without getting too, like I said, this could be an hour-long talk, but the idea for this is that all of this stuff, and you can look and see my other recipes, okay, you can figure out what you want to go through and use. So I use this here, and sometimes in my tea, Ultimate Green Protein. Okay, I always use, and this I only use this when I want to change it up. It's got your greens in the morning and everything, but my basic blend is a big spoon of maca, which I'm going to make for you real quick here. Okay, I use yerba mate, I use chenga piedra tea, and you don't have to, but this works good. And chenga piedra, okay, means, okay, it means to chenga, to break, piedra, rock, to break rocks, kidney stones, all different types of oxalates in the body. So this is a tea from the Amazon. Sometimes we carry it, sometimes we don't, but this was really good, and it tastes really good too. Okay, we're going to always use chia seeds. Chia seeds, you remember, is over 50% proteins. It's got all your oils in it. It's a beautiful thing, but you need to blend this if you want the protein. Blend it, because if you don't crack the seeds, you don't get the internal protein. So you just eat this stuff, and it makes this really cartilaginous, sort of mucousy, and that's really good for your intestinal tract. That's good for your fiber, but you're not getting the protein out. So a lot of people, unless you're chewing up those seeds individually, okay, you're only getting minimal protein, and all you're really getting is the mucoid effect, which is great too. But if you want to get the protein, okay, remember this is like, remember the old days, instant breakfast? Okay, I used to have that in the morning all the time, okay, probably when I was 13 years old. Didn't have time to make nothing. Ran out the door with my Carnation instant breakfast. Okay, so this is what this is. This is mine every morning. Psyllium. Okay, the reason why you put psyllium in again, this is an absorber. This is one of the best things. I get the fine ground psyllium. This is why you can get medium ground psyllium, but the smaller the particle, the better it absorbs. And this, you only use just half a teaspoon of this stuff. This stuff's powerful and it swells up, and this gives you intestinal bulk and fiber. Remember, psyllium is a fiber. You can't break it down. It's just fiber. And why do you need fiber? Nesting material. Okay, for who? For the bacteria that live in your stomach or your intestines that actually control 90% of who you are. So you need to make a nice house for them. Okay, just if you only get this much out of this, you need fiber in your diet. Okay, and constantly remember, have a little sip of your ferments. Remember, you're rebuilding your gut wall. So 10 o'clock in the morning, you got your ferments, have a little sip of kombucha. You don't need to drink the whole glass. Have another sip of this one, okay? Have a sip of, I have my pickles, I have sauerkraut, I saw all the different ferments. I have like probably 20 different types. I have ones made out of fruit, okay? And I just have a little sip. Anytime I eat, any meal, I always have ferments afterwards too, because I want to aid my internal bacteria. I want to send them a new set of military, okay? And remember, these are live bacteria, the ferments. The pills don't work if you take the bacteria. They don't work. I'm sorry. How could you think a pill that's a probiotic that you swallow, that's freeze-dried, is going to stay alive? First of all, to survive your stomach acid. Oh, they got special pills, they say, to be able to make it so it gets passed into the small intestine. Excuse me, BS. Okay, these things need to they need to replicate and become alive. You know what they eat to replicate? Sugar. You think you have a lot of food in your stomach? How are they going to replicate? A couple do. Okay, but you need to replicate them first, and once you replicate them, then you never even have to buy them. You just keep adding more sugar all the time. And I have free ways, that's a free way to be able to make probiotics. Okay, so, and I always have cacao. I either put cacao in my drink, okay, but then it adds a little bittery to it. It's got a little different flavor, okay? And if I do that, remember, we have sweeteners over here, which we'll go over, but I like cacao because, remember, it opens up my heart and it makes me feel that you're not hungry with this. Why are you going to get hungry with cacao? You don't. It cuts off your appetite. So I'll either have my breakfast tea, and then I'll have maybe about a handful this big. These are just the nibs. They taste sort of like bitter, okay? But this is the Arriba Nacional. These are the ones that I would suggest to get. It's ones we have. Why? Because they have the phenylethylamine, and that opens up your heart. It's called the love molecule. This is my stable right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to add minerals. These are magnesium minerals. These are fulvic acid minerals and silica. Boom. Look what we're doing. We're adding minerals. We're adding fiber. We're adding cacao, if you like, or I just eat it on the side. But again, make it different all the time. And maca. You know what maca does? As the people on the Amazon say, it makes you so you could go ahead and actually feel that work is not hard to do. It gives you stamina. It gives you sort of like this glandular power is what they say. They say it's even an aphrodisiac. Okay, so this is raw maca. You can have gelatinized maca too, and I've tried them both. But either one has specific, not one's better than the other. The gelatinized one means it's cooked, and it means it has different properties than the one that you would get was from raw. So when we were in the Amazon, though, this stuff grows at 15,000 feet. This is a very special plant. So I use like a big spoon of that. Okay, so pretty much, okay, this is this side of the fence here. Remember the minerals. And then the most important thing here now on this side is not only to make it taste good, but now we need the oils. So I use coconut oil. I put 2 huge heaping tablespoons minimum in my tea, in this amount. It's lauric acid. Lauric acid is going to heal your stomach. Remember, this is to heal your belly. This is to help your intestinal tract get back to function. This isn't so, oh, it tastes good, I don't like it. No, we'll learn to like it. Okay, and you're going to learn how to make it taste good. Okay, and how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to add vanilla again. Oh, here, smell that one more time. Oh my gosh, that is just ecstasy. Pure vanilla. Okay, again, it's not cheap stuff, but you only need a little bit. I like to sometimes, if I want to make it taste into mocha, shilajit. Makes it taste mocha-y. Makes it taste like all of a sudden and plus of course shilajit has plant minerals and such. And you really don't need this unless you want the flavor, because the fulvic acid content we add is, because that's why this is good. That's why noni is good, is because it's got fulvic acid. So we just do direct drive over here, but this gives it superb flavor. And it does have the same minerals as this has. Okay, but this has more of like a like mocha taste. Okay, we have 3 different types of stevia that we get specially made for us. Remember, you got to get hexane-free organic. If not, guys, you're not having stevia. That's why you don't like it. This is orange blossom. We have also butterscotch and vanilla. And I'll put about 10 drops of any one of the stevias in here. And even with my recipe, orange blossom. What's this taste like? Beautiful. Okay, butterscotch. Next day, I got another blend. Next day, vanilla. wow, okay? I never drink the same thing twice. But then again, most of the time, 90% of the time, I just make it the same way every time. And once in a while, I'll go ahead and venture into different areas. What also makes it taste good is what I put in, okay, is real nutmeg. Nutmeg. And how do you get nutmeg? Get one of these little guys like this, and you scrape it off into your tea. Wow. You ever had nutmeg? You know what that is? Smell. What? Smell it. Smell it. You know what this is, right? Eggnog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas. And if you take a lot of these, you know what happens? These are also an entheogen. They call them hallucinogens, but these have entheogenic quantities at taking at certain amounts. They use these for a lot of ceremonies for activating other entheogens. The nutmeg nut is a special nut, not only for flavor, but a lot of different shamanic tribes use that. If you want to spice it up, you know, why would you spice it up? Because you like spice? No, because you know what? You're a sugar monster and you don't want to be conned by sugar. So what do? You put a little cayenne in and it calms everybody down that's complaining in your stomach. A little cayenne in your water that you're drinking, a little cayenne in anything shuts everybody down. Black pepper irritates your stomach. Remember, you're trying to heal it. Red pepper does not irritate. Okay, so just remember that. And if you do get constipation a lot, okay, this can make and irritate your intestinal tract when you have problems in your intestinal tract. So if you take a lot of chilies and a lot of stuff and you can't go to the bathroom, that means you got some problems in your intestinal tract. Maybe open sores, okay? And what it does is it causes your intestinal tract to inflame, but it also helps it in time too. So I use cayenne like 3-4 times a week. I just put like a quarter teaspoon. If you want to make it taste really super good, carob, okay? Organic it has to be, because if not, again, insecticides, pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides. And I use a big spoon of this. Carob is also anti-parasitic, okay? Same with cinnamon, again. Cinnamon is one of the things that, remember Big Red and chewing gum? Everybody loves cinnamon. And you got to smell it one more time, because you forget the smell of cinnamon. And it's such a beautiful, man, there you go. Oh, look at that. Okay, so cinnamon, you only use a tiny bit. Why? It's because it's one of those things that you know that tastes super good. If you want it to really taste good, I don't use this as much anymore, is because I sort of like just don't. But when I was in transition, lucuma makes everything taste good. You mix chia seeds with lucuma and put some stevia on it with some coconut oil and a little bit of nutmeg and a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of Soleil salt, and you got yourself one heck of a meal. Okay, you can put a couple of nuts on there, you can put some goji berries on there, but lucuma is one of the best tasting things. It's a fruit. Same thing, comes from Ecuador or from the Amazon, and this makes everything taste good. No matter what, you can put this in your salad dressings. It just makes it taste creamy. And also when you put this in your drink, a lot of times, a lot of people like to be able to see the white to remind them of cream. I used to use dairy cream all the time, raw dairy cream, but I stopped using that because, you know why? Bothered my stomach a lot still. I transmuted out of that, okay? And what I use now, what I found from Trevor, learning from these guys, I used to use coconut oil, and we started using the real coconuts. Remember, and you started giving me coconut meat. And I put in a whole half a coconut meat in this much drink. And if I don't have my coconuts, because remember, we have thousands of coconuts here. If I don't have my coconuts, I have my coconut oil. And I go through this gallon myself in 6 weeks. I put it on my skin, okay? Hair conditioner. I eat 2 heaping tablespoons, okay, just in my tea. Okay, lauric acid is going to heal your intestinal tract. Okay, remember the fiber is going to let it so the intestinal tract can grow its bacteria. Okay, the yerba mate is going to help your intestinal tract get some stuff out, because that's what it does. It helps you go to the bathroom. Okay, the oils, again, you can go ahead and use hemp seeds if you'd like. Personally, I like the coconut oil. If I use hemp seeds, you know when I use these, because they're full of good oils, I put them on my salad dressing. Or if I have a couple of soft-boiled eggs, because eggs are good for you when you're transitioning too. Raw, fertile eggs, or just 2-minute boiled eggs, I put hemp seeds on top of them. Another thing also, a lot of people don't have coconuts and just want to tell you, look, and then we'll make the recipe. Part of this is a lecture because a lot of people think, oh, coconut's good for you. Yeah, you go to the store and you buy those Thai coconuts that have been soaked in formaldehyde and radiated and microwaved. And you open them up and crack them open because you don't even know what a coconut looks like. What color are those coconuts on the inside? The ones you buy from the store, from the Philippines or from places, they're purplish. Okay? They've been radiated, microwave. They soak the white. Trevor, what happens when you cut the coconut shavings, you know, the skin off in a day? The outside starts getting brown. Okay? You ever notice those things have been pure white and they got them shaved down? You get 12 of them for like $15.
Just with a matter of hours, they start to turn.
In a couple hours, they start to turn. These things don't. Why? Because they soak them in bleach. They soak them. When I went over, I mean, we've done a lot of traveling, and you go to these places and you go, whoa, I used to eat those and drink those all the time. They're not good. Okay, so forget that coconut. This is organic coconut shavings we make. Okay, and you can get them in macaroon size, which is really fine shredded, fine. Okay, you have them all these different sizes, ribbon size. Those are good on top of certain types of things that you're making because they crunch. Okay, you can put them in some type of a pan with mushrooms or whatever, and it gives it like an oily flavor. But these are really good to be able to add on top of your drink if you wanted to make it so you have yourself like. Remember, coconut oil is the best thing you could do to help establish normal gut function. It's not just the oil again, you need the fiber, okay? And you need to not put in a lot of sugar. Sugar does what? It gives fermentation. Oxidation. Any sugar you put in your system is for a reason. It's for fast running. Okay, it's to be able to have explosive. I'm going to have an apple, I'm going to go work out. I have explosive power. If not, my oils that I have throughout the day keep me so I have power consistent all day like a diesel engine. If I want sugar, then I have some. Okay, and I'm talking sugar, fresh fruit, not garbage. And I'd go out and exercise. Okay, so mesquite powder too, that makes it taste sort of, smoky. Mesquite comes from, this is a staple of the American Indians, and this is actually, again, very low in sugar. It's got a different smell to it, and it's got, like yacon, you know, everything, but this has more of a smokier flavor to it, and it makes things taste pretty good too, okay? You can, if you want to, use this tea as a little anti-parasitical, and what do? You add fossil shell flour, which is diatomaceous earth, okay, and the little scrapey silicon, these are little creatures, millions of years old, they're dried up, and they have sharp shrouded edges on them. And so anything that's swimming in your intestinal tract that is sort of like a worm that has a mucus coating on it, it scratches off its coating and it makes it so that they can't live as much in the intestinal tract. I use this a couple times a week only. You don't use it every day. I use it a couple times a week. And how much you put in? Put a big like tablespoon in. Okay, so we're going to do part 2 now. This was the lecture, just to be able to give you some ideas on some of the things we did. One thing I missed here, you can, okay, this is Hawaiian kava. What does kava do? You ever been to a kava bar? It makes you chatty Cathy. You eat some of this and ooh, okay? So kava is another brain stimulation. Oh, also one last thing. I don't have the Mucuna right now, but Mucuna is one of the most beautiful things to be able to put in your drink in the morning. Mucuna has different substances like DMT, okay, different types of things, L-dopamine, and it gives your brain stimulation. And remember, a lot of these types of things that are in nutrients, they need MAO inhibitors to make it so the stomach doesn't break them down, so they go to the brain. And this is one of the reasons, again, why I like to mix cacao every morning, okay, or blue-green algae, because it has MAO inhibitors. So a lot of the things I take, like phenylethylamine and anything I'm going to take, like in my chocolate, it needs an MAO. If not, it only gets digested here, and I don't feel it in my head. Okay, so MAOs, you have to learn about them, but know that cacao and blue-green algae have MAO inhibitors. So when you mix things with these, some of the substances you'll mix with, it's called brain food. It goes to your brain. Okay, so they need MAOs to be able to not get processed here, and it bypasses the system and goes to the brain. So these are different types of foods depending on if you have an MAO. Okay, so, and that's it. Okay, so let's make the recipe here. Recipe simple, 5 minutes, not even that. Okay, so any questions you guys have on anything here? We'll go over, how much to put on. I'm just going to show you my quick recipe, and I'm just going to put this back on the stove again just to heat it up. Because again, I like my tea hot. And the way you do tea, look, you put the water in, and And I have an alkaline water machine, but then again, if you don't, it's not set up right, then your alkaline water is not clean water, okay? I use the alkaline water like a pH of 10 to be able to take a lot of the acidity out of coffee or tea first. You can use, if you don't have an alkaline water machine, okay, distilled water is the best no matter what, okay, is because it's the cleanest water. You need a steam distiller. If you don't have one, you're missing out because you think that buying bottled water is smart. It's actually stupid. We live on the water planet. You buy water at $3 a gallon, some people sell for. Okay, so if I do use alkaline water, the reason being is because it takes 2 pH or so out of the acid. It's like a pH of 4. When I use the alkaline water, it brings it up to 6. Okay, and it's makes it so the alkaline caffeine goes more in my head, and when you have coffee that's acidic, yeah, it bothers your stomach. Okay, and it makes me nervous. It's this weird, different type of energy. So I found out when I do my teas or my coffees or anything I'm going to do, as long as I use more of an alkaline substrate, it goes more in my, not nervous, it goes more creativity in my brain. It's not like you've had coffee before where I got to do something, I'll clean the house or something. Okay, you have to do something. And so it's a nervous energy versus more of a grounded, happy energy. And so that's the difference between using. So if not, what would you use to alkalize? I'd use just a 1/4 teaspoon per gallon of sodium bicarbonate. That's it. You use too much, it tastes salty. You can get alkaline drops, but then again, don't worry about that because when you put in the coconut oil, remember, if everything lived in a perfect world, you have a water machine, you'd have a few of them, you'd have all these different tools. But when you put the coconut oil in a lot of these things, they're alkaline. And what they do is they change the tea anyways. So, okay, any questions? And then we'll make the recipe real quick. One last thing. Okay, I wasn't going to use this, but okay, this is what everybody's trying to do. Is to get this light bulb. This is your brain and your body. It's energy. And the more light you have, the more conductivity that I'm going to show you in this, okay? The more energy you have and the less food you need, okay? And you can't eat low light food. You have to have high light food because your light bulb's high. And if you eat low light food, dense food, dead food, your light bulb goes down and you don't feel as happy. You've been pretty happy since you've been fasting and you haven't had any food, have you? Been pretty happy, okay? So when you start eating again, you'll notice, okay, you have to go ahead and remember, try to eat as clean of food as you can, okay? Personally, unless it's organic, I wouldn't buy it, okay? There's atrazine, there's glyphosate, there's all these different pesticides, insecticides, herbicides. There's a lot of stuff in your food that if you're not growing your own food, then you need to go to the farmer's market. Okay, and find some people that can go ahead that you can trust to get some of your food from. But in order to be able to actually get light, you got to quit eating because you disconnect all your parasites in your body that are sucking your light bulb. They're energy vampires. They're sucking you dry. You just don't know it. So you guys disconnected. Your light bulb's really big because you don't have all these parasites sucking at you dry right now. Okay, so how do you keep your light bulb? Okay, look, here's distilled water. You need conductive minerals every day, okay? These are magnesium minerals, are Himalayan salt, Sole salt. These are conductive minerals. You need conductivity in your body. Okay, this is distilled water, and as I turn this on, that light bulb doesn't go on. Why? Is because these 2 electrodes right here need to have conductivity. If I put this in my mouth, I'm salty, so it would fry my head, okay? These 2 electrodes are just like the same 2 electrodes coming out of the wall. I had this made, and when those electrodes actually get conductivity with one another, depending on how much conductivity is depending on how much the light bulb will go ahead and shine. And this is where you're at today, guys. Your light bulb's pretty good right now. Way better than it was. Remember, you lost 15 pounds of toxicity, which was dead weight. I don't care if it's yeast, mold, fungus, candida, every parasite, every system, every toxicity sucks away from your light bulb. This is the reason why we add a lot of minerals in our diet, okay? I'm just gonna show you, and you wanna keep, this is what you're trying to do, guys, trying to keep your light, okay? And I'm just gonna put in, these are highly conductive minerals. And let's just see, I only put in 2 drops. Remember, the distilled water, okay, does not conduct minerals. It doesn't have any. Okay, now watch. I'm going to just keep adding the light bulb. And as you get more minerals, as you get more bright, the conductivity increases, okay? This is what happens. And if you stay like this, you stay healthy, wealthy, happy, wise, you're charismatic. Why? It's because you're a light bulb, you're illuminated, you're brilliant, okay? At least as far as your light goes. We're not talking about this. But your energy, and a lot of people that have lower energy are going to suck you dry. It's because you got the light. Okay? Yes. So you got to change relationships. Don't let everybody pull your light down. Don't eat stupid foods, as I call them, to pull your light down. Listen to that thing crackling in there. Okay? That's conductivity. And this will last forever. The minerals don't wear out. It's just you urinate, you sauna, you sweat. And this is why you're using the sauna protocols. Remember, training modification is pretty smart. And so using all these little things, a little bit at a time, and all you're doing is dissolving, the Trinity of Health, dissolving, you're washing, okay, and you're remineralizing. Pretty simple. Dissolve, wash, and renutrify. Dissolve, make space, break things down. You gotta wash the crap out of your body. You gotta sauna. You gotta go ahead and drink tons of liquids, okay? Dry water, water that'll take stuff out of your system. And you need to renutrify. Why? Because now you got space. Now your gas tank is half empty and you can put in some better fuel because you couldn't put any fuel in before because the thing was full of shite, garbage, parasites, toxicity, mental. Why didn't you want to do it before? Now you're doing it now. Well, this is one of the reasons being why once people go through this, as I call, once you go through the transformation of the first layer, now it's just up to you to sort of keep it going for 3 months, and then this will be your new life. Okay? Once you train your bacteria, like I said, in your stomach to be able to accept the new fuel that you know that's good for you. Okay? Try to eat not until 3 a day. Okay? And I do every day. I intermittent fast every day. Okay? I eat at about 8 o'clock at night. I go to bed, I have my ferments, okay? And I don't have any blood at all. I don't eat any flesh at all of any kind, okay? Best I've ever felt in my life. And plus, the last thing I want to do is get all my tapeworms and all my stuff back that took me years to go ahead and not kill them, but push them out of me, okay? And so I wait 24 hours or so. I don't even wait that. I get up at 4 in the morning or so. I go to bed about 9:30 at night. I study 2-3 hours in the morning. I have my breakfast tea. I have my chocolate. As soon as I get up, I drink 32 ounces of my distilled water. I rehydrate myself because I've been sweating at night. I probably wake up in the middle of the night 3 or 4 times every night, and I urinate a lot. Why? Because every time I urinate, I drink 30 more sips of water because I'm cleaning my system out and it keeps it clean at night. Okay? It's a little tough if you live with somebody, but I live by myself, so it's really easy to go ahead and just get up anytime you want or do whatever. Okay? And then so I wait 24 hours until 8 o'clock at night before I have my big meal again. I may have a little snack. You guys make me a little bit of smoothies. You made me that green, and I don't drink it all at once. I just have a little bit because I don't even really want it. But it tastes good, but it's not calling me. At night when I have my first bite, wow, am I hungry. Until my first bite. And then I eat until I feel cessation, until I don't feel like all of a sudden I don't need anymore. It's not really fun anymore. It's not tasting as good anymore. I'm done. What do you want to do? Finish your plate? I don't gorge myself anymore. Okay, I just wanted to prove to you. The light bulb doesn't go out, so keep your light. Okay? And keeping your light is easy once you get your light, if you follow the protocols. Simple. And you need to get out in the sun to keep your light. Why? Because that's part of the light. Okay? You need to clean your skin. You need to go ahead and do hydrational liquids all the time that are mineralized. Okay? And then if you can, try to do, remember, exercise. Exercise rebuilds you. Remember, dissolve, wash, and renutrify. So now what are you going to do? Rebuild. That's the next one. That's number 4. And rebuild. So when you rebuild, basically, that's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's shut this off here, but you can see no conductivity and yo baby yo. Okay, and if you can keep this, you will never get sick. I guarantee you. There are no parasites that can eat that light. Remember, they live in the dark. They don't like the light. They try to hide in the closet. If you turn the light on in the whole body, okay, the body, all the cells start to touch each other. All the cells touch each other electronically, and nothing that's a low-level parasite that lives in about minus 50 volts. This is minus 70 volts. This means you have full light. Okay? And if you get certain areas of your body down to minus 30 millivolts, okay, minus 20 millivolts, you're sick in that area. And that's when all these parasites jump in because that's their field. And once they get in, they ain't leaving. They got a house. Even though you got more light everywhere else. That's why you need to do all these little protocols and stretch and bend and get all the cobwebs out, deep massage. Okay, here we go, part 2. Whew, that was bright. Okay, part 2, we'll just make the recipe real quick. And I know these guys gotta go. All right, there we go. Chocolate.